First things first, let's talk about the naira. The naira to the dollar is still coming under pressure. As we saw, it closed at 159.9 naira to the dollar. Now it closed. Traders are saying this was as a result of an expected month-end dollar flows from oil companies failing to materialize, creating a dollar shortage in the market. What is your take on the reason that we're seeing the naira coming under some pressure?
Uche, I think it's more of a supply problem. The analysts telling you about the month-end flows from the oil companies, I think they're very right. We did not see as much oil flows as we used to see in previous months. And I think there's a supply issue right now. I want to say the demand is still there, but that demand has been constant. It's been there right from the beginning of the year, but we probably never noticed it because of the flows we were seeing from the supply side. So I would say because of the low supply of flows to the market, we're seeing that's the reason why we're seeing so much pressure on the naira at the moment. And that's why the market closed at 90 figure on 159 yesterday.
Well, Sam, we did see the CBN sell about $250 million at the WDAS auction on Wednesday. So it seems like their intervention doesn't seem to be having much of an effect on the naira. What is your take on this?
Well, first of all, we need to distinguish between the WDAS flow and the interbank flow. You will recollect that the WDAS flow cannot flow into the interbank market. This is for specific client demands. And also, you will recall that there has been a lot of demand that have been moved from the WDAS into interbank. So we now see a lot of pressure on the interbank side. However, the central bank has been intervening on a two-way basis in the market in recent times. But I think throughout this week, they've done some intervention. On Monday they did, on Wednesday they did. I think even yesterday they did. But again, if you ask me, I think the central bank, if they must bring the naira down, then they need to increase the flow they use for the intervention. At the moment, whatever figure they are using, because it's not made public, I don't think it's affecting the market in the desired way in which the central bank would have wanted. So they probably need to increase that flow if they intend to bring the rates down.
Now, but Sam, as of yesterday, we're also hearing that FX reserves here in Nigeria rose to a 20-month high of $37.64 billion by May 28th. Now, what effect is this going to have on the outlook of the naira in the short run and the long run?
Well, the accretion to the reserve has given some form of confidence, especially to the offshore investors in Nigeria, gave them some form of confidence. But again, the question is, with the way the oil prices increase, is the accretion also moving in that manner? Probably not. But again, what that tells us is that we have 21 or 20 months import cover, which is very positive for the country. But again, I think for the offshore investors, we are having other issues compared to just looking at our foreign reserves alone. All the euro crisis, all the issue with Greece, Spain, and all the likes of, the European giants, is having a lot of effect. And most of these offshore investors are probably looking at being safe than sorry right now. So most of them are staying in cash and not bringing more flows into emerging market or the frontier markets.
Now, you just said that, of course, reduced interest from offshore investors is having a major effect on our markets and our FX. Now, what effect is it really having on the naira and, of course, security yields? What exact effect is it having? Give me a clearer picture.
Well, the offshore flows has been a significant part of flows that have come into this market this year. Significant, they've accounted on majority of the flows we've seen in the interbank market. Okay. And that has actually helped in keeping the naira at the 57, 58 level it was since the beginning of January, since sometimes February till now. But with that flow reducing, we are beginning to see more pressure on the naira. And if that flow does not, if they stop the flow totally, it might give further pressure to the naira.